What's going on, guys? It's your average consumer, and today we're gonna be checking out the brand new iPad Air, along with a few other things. The iPad Air has been recently updated to have even more power, so we're going to go over everything that you need to know. First, let's check out what's inside of here. I think we got a couple of extra accessories, so let's pop it open. All right, here we go. Bang. I'm actually pretty excited because they've got a new blue color. They had blue previously with the previous iPad Air, but this is a different shade, which I'm all for. All right, so we've got a few things. We've got the new iPad Air. Oh, new smart folio. So this is the case. That blue is looking good. Carl, you like that? Yes, let's go. And of course, the Magic Keyboard. This is the white version. And of course, the second generation Apple Pencil. Now, of course, this is very much like the previous version, so a lot of the old accessories will be able to work for it. Let's pop this off and let's see. Oh, baby, that's a nice blue. Oh, I like that. Close. No, the new iPhone light.
It's somewhat similar to me.
Now we gotta pull it out. Jay, I'm not even gonna ask for yours. I know what happened.
I fixed it. Oh!
You fixed your your broken iPhone?
Yes.
But
it's not from Apple. So
oh, let me see what that looks like, Jay. Oh, I mean,
if you pull you out, it's more saturated and everything. So
now I gotta go get mine still. Third party. Oh, you're right, Jay. Mm-hmm. This is a little bit more blue.
Oh yeah, I see it.
And Carl.
Yeah, never mind.
Carl.
Never mind me. Honestly, on camera it looks the same.
No, it doesn't.
I love it.
Either way, I didn't know they fixed iPhones and gave you new shades of color, so congratulations, Jay. Yours is one of a kind. But this blue is absolutely awesome. I like this a lot. This is a very, very nice blue. If you're curious about what else comes inside of the box, come on, you know the deal, you guys. We got some paperwork. Do we get blue stickers, though? Do we get like a really nice blue sticker? Missed opportunities. But you do get a SIM ejector tool, some iPad Air paperwork, and of course you get a USB-C cable and the power brick. So all the stuff you would expect from an Apple unboxing, you've got all right here. Now you might be asking, what's so special about this iPad Air? What did Apple change? Honestly, not a lot. We've got a new color, of course. But this thing also has the new M1 chip that Apple's putting in everything at this point. What's missing the M1 chip?
Mac Pro.
That's coming, Jay. That's coming. Take it easy. But that M1 chip is in almost all of Apple's devices now. The iPad Air is no different. So we're looking at huge performance upgrades for this. But what's interesting is that the iPad Pro, their more expensive, biggest model, that one has the M1 chip as well. So like, what's the difference between something like this and the iPad Pro, right? Well, we're gonna talk about that a little bit later and hopefully help you guys make a decision on, do you wanna spend more or is this all you need? We'll talk about that. But really quick, I wanna go over some of the other things that we've got. Of course, we got this new Smart Folio case. Pretty blue, this is really blue, but man, this is clean. I like this. And this thing is the same size as like the iPad Pro, the 11-inch. They both got 11-inch displays. So a lot of it feels the same. Of course, a big difference is going to be the camera system. As you can see, this has a single one. The iPad Pro has, I think, the ultra-wide camera lens as well as a flash and LiDAR scanner. But when it comes to the Magic Keyboard, this is the exact same Magic Keyboard that you would use with the iPad Pro. Because they have similar dimensions, they can both use it with no problem. You'll notice that with this, it still has the large cutout. So you still got that big cutout in case you were using this with the iPad Pro, but the Air fits it just fine. You can still use the camera, all that good stuff. Oh, that combo is kind of nice. That white and blue, I like that, that's clean. But really quick, let's just take a quick look at what the iPad Air is and what it's about. It's got the same design pretty much as the Pros and of course as last year's model. You also have that fingerprint scanner up here with Touch ID in the power button. This has dual speakers. You've got the single camera in the back, USB-C port at the bottom. It's not Thunderbolt, that's in the Pro. But for the most part, this is pretty much last year's, but with a new coat of paint and of course that M1 chip. But I'm digging this so far. I'll spend some time with it and I'll let you guys know where I feel like it stands amongst the iPad lineup. And all right guys, now it's time to give you my thoughts on this guy right here, the new iPad Air. Now, this is a device that I feel like is really geared towards the average consumer. It's got a ton of similarities to the iPad Pro, but it doesn't give you all the bells and whistles of the iPad Pro, but it gives you the power. Now, what exactly do I mean by that? Well, this thing has the M1 chip, so any apps or anything that you would throw at it, chances are it's going to, no chances are, it is going to be able to handle all of that, and it's going to be useful for years and years and years. And what I mean by it doesn't come with all the bells and whistles of the iPad Pro is that it doesn't have the ProMotion display, the quad speakers, the screen isn't quite as bright, 500 nits compared to 600 nits. Now, I personally feel like a lot of the features that this thing is missing compared to the Pro are things that I think tech enthusiasts would come to enjoy. Like the ProMotion display, I'm telling you, it's absolutely an awesome feature, but is it a feature that everyone's willing to pay extra money for? I don't think so. I kid you not, over the weekend, my dad gave me a call, told me he's looking for an iPad to buy, wanted my recommendation on which one he should get. And his biggest requirement was that he wanted something that was future-proof. This is a man who is still rocking the iPad 2. Yes, he's like, yeah, it's getting a little bit old. It's not being able to download all the apps these days, so I need an upgrade. Shame on me for not upgrading him like years ago, but that was his biggest requirement. And kudos to Apple for making products that can last that long. And honestly, that's what the M1 is all about. With this chip, I can foresee him using this iPad for a really, really long time. Now, will my dad notice the ProMotion display? Probably not. Is he gonna notice that this thing has stereo speakers instead of quad speakers? Probably not. And while this might not have Face ID, it still does have Touch ID, so if you wanna get into the tablet, you can still do that, pay for things. You still have a nice secure way. I really enjoy Touch IDs, so I'm not mad at this not having Face ID. I think Touch ID is still an awesome option. Now, when it comes to the iPad lineup, where exactly does the Air fall? This one I kind of view as the true base model iPad. If you go for anything else, you're kind of looking for something in that realm. If you go for the standard iPad, you're like, listen, I want an iPad, but I don't really want to spend a lot of money on it. So you get the basic iPad. That's where you spend the least amount of money. You go for the mini if you know you want a small tablet, you want a small iPad. Obviously the Pros, if you're an enthusiast, you've got special needs, you want the best of the best. But this is kind of what everyone's looking at as a starting point. And unless you have like a particular need, then you kind of look at the other ones in the lineup. But I feel like the Air is where it all really begins. It can handle all the things that the Pro can do, just minus some of those few touches that just up the experience a little bit. And considering the Air and the Pro have a starting price difference of $200, I think a lot of people will opt for this since it's just the more affordable option. Although I will say, I do think it sucks that the base model comes in at 64 gigs. What are we doing? 64 gigs is definitely not enough. I think 128 would have been ideal, but you know, this is a tablet, so you might not be loading a ton of different apps on here. So I still think that this is the better option for the folks who want a powerful iPad, but don't care about all the little extra features that make the Pro. So do I recommend the Air? Absolutely. We know this thing is a powerful tablet. It's got the power, it's got a good looking display, and the speakers sound good. So the overall just experience using it, it's definitely where it should be. And I think the only other difference, what? The cameras? I mean, who cares, am I right? Like, really? That about wraps up for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be the cool guy or girl that gives this video a thumbs up. One thing, I guess we didn't talk about battery, but 10-hour battery life. iPad batteries are always solid, so don't even worry about that. It's good stuff. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, it's your average consumer. I wanna know what you guys think. Do you guys just want the best of the best? Or do you want what works and you can live without having certain features? Let me know with a comment down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, it's your average consumer. I mean, this thing is blue. That's all you really need to know, right? Just buy it off of the color.